From the man who brought you Homicide: Life on the Street, The Wire, Tram, Generation Kill, The Deuce, comes a mini-series about what would happen if fascism came to America. Here are Rich Reviews. Hi there, folks. Welcome back to Rich Reviews. And my latest TV show that is a mini-series I want to review for you guys now. This comes from David Simon, and it's A Plot Against America, and this is an adaptation of a Philip Roth novel from 2004 or 5 about an alternate take of what would happen if Charles Lindbergh won the presidency in 1940 against FDR and made peace with the Nazis and steered America toward a folksier types of fascism, not the one hardcore fascism like in Germany. Now, let me confess, I actually read this novel so many years ago, and this was presented as a sort of fake memoir by Philip Roth, whose family is in the novel. The novel is presented in a third-person archival newspaper and archival footage type of way. This is obviously greatly more expanded upon what David Simon did, and I think Philip Roth gets an executive producer credit, although Philip Roth died in 2018 when this project was just getting off the ground. Now, obviously, the Roth family has been changed. One of the many things, although it's generally faithful, although there are a couple of different changes, has changed from Roth to Levin, and they still live in New Jersey, although I think Roth, obviously, growing up, anti-Semitism did exist in New York, New Jersey. We are introduced to the Levin family, and Henry and his wife, played by Zoe Kazan, he's played by Morgan Spector, and I think the majority of the people that are playing people here, at least the main roles, are Jewish. And basically, there's an older sister here, played by Winona Ryder, who's the sort of spinster of the family. There's a cousin hanging around. There's two children that the couple has. One's a talented artist. The other is that precocious kid in a series like this, and obviously gets into precocious trouble. Basically, as the beginning of the series here, Charles Lindbergh is a famed aviationist, and clearly he's isolationist, and obviously he wants to run for the presidency. And yes, Charles Lindbergh did have some anti-communist views that indeed resonated with a whole bunch of people, even though, and yes, he was into eugenics, and sadly he did see the end result of that when he toured the concentration camps. Superman is obviously like, yeah, everyone can see what he is. He's a xenophobic nationalist with anti-Semitic views. His wife is like, there's never been a bigger hero in our lifetime. Her mother and father had escaped from Russia and the Cossacks and settled in America. Herman here obviously had his neighborhood that sort of managed his viewpoints. Here's the one thing I think most people seem to forget and understand, is that most people live in a bubble. And it's only when elections happen that those two bubbles collide. I live in a bubble. Someone else in Kentucky may live in a bubble. Of course, we're also introduced to John Turturro as Rabbi Bergelsdorf, who is like, I'm going to help Charles Lindbergh get elected president. That draws Herman's ire because, hey, look, he's a Jew who's, clearly trying to help someone who believes he has anti-Semitic views. But what we come to learn about the John Turturro character is that he's a Southern Jew who happens to love the Confederacy. Yeah, and Herman has a brother played by David Krumholtz, of all people, and really David Krumholtz has let himself go as a successful fruit merchant who's like, yeah, he could be elected, but hey, look, the economy is doing so well. Lindbergh gets elected, he makes peace with Hitler, and obviously that draws Herman's ire even further because he wants to stand up for his ideals. Because this is a multicultural America, his wife is like, no, this is for the Jew haters, the America First people, and the Lindbergh crowd. And constantly he wants to stand up. She is like, oh yeah, let's get for Canada, because a lot of Jews are heading for Canada. Son, and one of the more interesting ideas ever conceived is that the rabbi conceives of a new Homestead Act in which the elder son goes to a farm in Kentucky. Now, this miniseries follows the novel relatively faithfully. In the final episode, there are a couple of minor changes. One of it which includes the disappearance of Lindbergh. Brought this much more, speculative of what happened. Here it's much more expanded upon. And obviously there's a throwaway conversation that gets more expanded upon. Now, of course, the ending here, if you've read the novel, you can understand what. But in this miniseries, it ends on much more of a unresolved note. And that was apparently at the request of the HBO president. Clearly, if you're watching this miniseries, could this be an allegory for Trump? Well, apparently Philip Roth, who wrote this novel, it came out during the Bush administration, and clearly he thought to himself, okay, I'm trying to make an allegory about the George W. Bush administration. And he was asked about this shortly before he died. But I really think if you want to watch something that's dark, and given the fact that we're all stuck inside, and you want to make yourself even feel more like, I want to get out of the house, I want to do something with my life, then watch this series. The acting is superb. The set decoration is superb. Those 40s cars are just immaculate. You clearly could think that the person who's giving them saying, don't wreck the car. There are two directors for this. One of whom happens to be Thomas Shallam, the man who helped devise The West Wing and directed How I Married an Axe Murderer. Would I want to see a second season if there was a second season? I don't know. Unlike, granted, I know a lot of people want a Watchmen sequel. I didn't watch Watchmen. In the end, I would highly recommend that you watch The Plot Against America. So folks, The Plot Against America. Have you seen this? What did you think? Please put everything in the comment box below here, folks. As always, folks, I'm on Twitter at MichaelRich at RichReviews2. As always, folks, I'll see you next time. Enrich yourself with knowledge. I'll see you next time, folks. Yes, hooray.